Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Life in the Piedmont. My name is Tina, and welcome to my very first episode of my podcast called A Table Talk, where we will be talking about lots of different things, to be honest with you. But my first episode is actually going to be talking about routines, rhythms, homemaking, lost, lost art of homemaking from our ancestors. Do you know what I mean? And this is for the young moms out there too. So come and join me as I kind of walk through what I have done, what I continue to do in my house, even though my kids are raised, but just something that helps me out to stay focused, to stay on task. And yeah, so we are going to be talking about old-fashioned ideas from past generations, lessons that can inspire our homes today. It's not that we have to do everything that our ancestors did, right? But we can adapt some of their ways that are very meaningful to us, that help us so we don't feel overwhelmed and we can give ourselves grace when things don't go well. So, with that being said, I believe that keeping a home, there are rhythms to the home, right? When I think about old fashioned, I think about my grandmother, who even though she worked full time, but I know she always had a schedule of the things that she did and she stuck to them. And if she didn't get it done, it was okay with her. So that's one of the reasons I was kind of inspired by that and just wanting to try and reach some of the younger generations to see if I can encourage them too. So when I picture rhythms, I picture each day doing something. You learn patience about yourself and being intentional about the things that you're going to do to run your home and keep it as tidy as possible. So the first thing, and I want to let you know, I do have my printed out notes here, so to help me, so I don't make sure I don't miss anything. So one thing, and I still keep this today more so than ever, and that is doing my laundry on Mondays. Wash day Mondays is what I call it, and I love doing laundry. It's one of my favorite things to do, so I can do it any day of the week, but Mondays is my day that I get my house to reset, and that's kind of the first that starts the rhythm of the week. After a weekend of being home with everybody, kids maybe are back at school, jobs, people return to their jobs. Now it's time to reset the home. What does that look like? Well, let's get all the clothes together and gather all those up, and let's get our laundry going. Let's get our laundry going, and then we can move on to our next task, which is a really simple task. Maybe the floors need to be swept and vacuumed. And while the washer is doing the job for us, let's move on to the next task, and we can reset the house. I think by sweeping and vacuuming and tidying up the kitchen, your house looks amazing, like you've been cleaning in it all day long. And I believe that those are some really easy tips that you can do, is just find that rhythm on Mondays. Do your laundry, wash and sweep your floors, or sweep your floors and vacuum, wipe down your counters in your kitchen and you will be good. It's also, I don't want to, if you're not a big person that cooks from scratch, please don't beat yourself up over it. Okay, not everybody likes to cook. I know I get tired of cooking, and it's okay to do semi-homemade. It does not matter. I think about the food and how much our food chain has changed, and I know, like when I think back to my grandparents, food. Even if you go back to like 100 years, right? Food was not the way that it is today. It is very simple ingredients. Most things you could go buy had maybe one or no more than 3 ingredients in it, and those are the kind of things I think about when I'm cooking at home. What are some of those easy ingredients that I can put together that will be nourishing at home to feed my family and to keep those bellies full? And that's what I think you should focus on when you are trying to cook something, whether you're cooking it from scratch or if you're cooking a semi-homemade meal. Think about what is nourishing, what's going to fill the bellies, and I think you're good to go on that. So don't beat yourself up over it if you don't cook from scratch. It's okay. My grandmother, she always cooked from scratch. There wasn't Well, okay. Yes, there was a time yes, she would have canned foods and stuff in there, but for the majority of, I mean, our food chain has changed a lot too. So, say a Campbell's thing of soup is not what Campbell's soup is now today, right? But for the most part, she cooked all her stuff from scratch, as well as my mom. But I think my mom did some semi homemade stuff too, where it was, she always had the fresh greens or vegetables with the protein, and then the sides were either like a rice or something, or like a rice-a-roni, and that's always fine too. So don't worry about that. And when I'm talking about rhythms, so as we're getting into the rhythms, like Monday's the wash day, we're going to reset the house. Just remember, rhythms are not perfection. These are things that help set the tone in your house to help your day flow in a better way, because you all know when we stay at home with little ones or have our kids off at school, things can change. You might get a call from the school, right? Oh, you have to go. You have to stop what you're doing because maybe your child got sick. You have to go pick them up at school, or maybe the little one's not taking a nap that's at home. So it's okay. Don't give yourself grace. Just be consistent in how you want to set up the rhythms in your home. What I am telling you is just, here are some rhythms. Apply them to the days of the week that suits what's best for you and your family. And I promise you, when you do that, you will have just an easier flow in your home, and you'll be able to take a breath and breathe, because you won't feel overwhelmed with everything. And always remember, give yourself grace. So I always say pick one or two consistent days of the week that you are going to, do your wash, or you're going to do your meal prep. Or if you like to bake, maybe you bake during the week for the week, right? Don't worry about finishing everything off. Focus on the joy and the task that is at hand. So I would like to start off, as we have already started. Mondays just became a reset day. I do it, and it seems like everybody's doing it. If it doesn't get all done, it's still in progress. That's what's so great about it. You can go to the next task, or leave it for the next day. I would also think about your food. Like if you're prepping food and maybe Monday is just one of those days you're just kind of feeling out of it. Don't, pull your crock pot out. If you have an Instapot, pull that out. Throw something in there. Let it keep it easy for you as you reset your home and just kind of move back into the groove of Monday in the week. I like to do, there's another thing on here that I had about the rhythms of the week. So we always do wash days on Monday. That's something I don't think I'll ever change. And I do it on Saturdays. Like I will do all my laundry again on Saturdays if need be. So I can start Sunday, because that's our day that I rest, and we can just go and just rest and not have to worry about it, and all the laundry is done. And if I don't do it on Saturdays, Monday's around the corner and it can sit there. So that's okay. Tuesday. So Tuesdays are days where maybe you can sit there and say, well, let me back up a minute. Wednesday. Well, I need to go to Tuesday. So Tuesday, I lost my task. I'm so sorry. Tuesday's a good day because you have your house reset. Tuesday's a good day to really sit down and maybe meal prep. And this could be any day of the week. You can do it on Friday. You can do it on Saturday. It doesn't matter. But maybe you can just sit down and meal prep a little bit and do a pantry check. Go through your pantry. See what are the things that you truly do need for the next week or 2 weeks to get you through in the meals. You don't have to. Making a menu is great and it is very helpful, but I am the type of person, I really don't stick with it. If I write down things that I want to make for dinner over the next week, I'm more than likely to stick with that than I am an actual menu. Because what if I don't want to have chicken on Monday night, right? Maybe I want that another night, or I'm just not feeling it that day. That's kind of where I'm at. And I think right now during the winter time, to cook is to seasonally cook. Cook what's in season. Right now we have a lot of our root vegetables, right? And when I say root vegetables, I'm talking about carrots and squash and stuff like that. And you can make a lot of soups, and soups go a long way. It's nutritious and it fills the belly. So when I say plan your meals for the week, I like just to have what it is that I'm having, because I think when you have the protein listed out, then you can go from there and make what you want and add any side dish to it. That's kind of how I do it. Maybe that will be helpful for you. Make your list of those things that you want to bring in that maybe you don't have or you're running low on. Make that list and get ready to go to the store during the week. Now, Wednesdays always used to be a shopping day. I used to go shopping with my grandmother all the time because that's when the sale ads would come out. And those things that you wanted, maybe that's on your list that went on sale, you want to make sure you get those. So always check your ads. I know everywhere is a little bit different it depends on what day of the week the sale ads change. So you might just want to check your stores and see, but usually I would always shop for like fresh produce. I would look for meats that went on sale, and then in the dairy. If you have the ability to support local farmers, maybe you can connect with one of your local farmers and see what type of meat they sell. Maybe it's beef, and maybe there's chicken, or maybe there's pork. You just don't know. So the focus of this is to have everything in your home ready to cook, so you don't have to run back out to the store. Because if you have to go back out to the store for something, it just makes it harder to get up and start planning your meal for that day. If you are a morning person, then I'm always thinking about what I have to have for dinner in the morning, and I pull that protein out and get that thawed on my sink. And then from there, I know, well, I think I'll have potatoes tonight, or I think I'm going to do peas tonight or something. But yeah, as long as I know the protein I'm going to be having that night, everything else comes together with such ease. Now, Thursdays are a great day if you bake. Say you bake for your kids because you have kids in school, or that's their afternoon snack, or you don't buy bread in the store, but you love your bread. Maybe Thursdays are your day that you bake things from scratch. Maybe that's your day you bake your bread, or you bake some muffins, or whatever it is that you choose to do. Maybe that's a day that you can make some soups, semi-homemade soups. And that's as simple as making sure that you have broth on hand, vegetable broth, chicken broth, beef broth, that type of stuff. You go to the store and get. You can pick up some frozen vegetables. Put it in a pot, add the broth, and you have a homemade vegetable soup with some fresh bread on the side. And that's a really great semi-homemade, nourishing dinner that you can give to your family that day. And I bet you'll have leftovers too that you can put away for later in the week and do a fridge clean out that way. Fridays, when you come to Fridays, I think we're all excited for Fridays to get here, and I know those were my days where I always like to try and go into the weekends with my chores done on Friday. So I wanted my house clean, and that means I would dust, I would wipe down the bathrooms, I would fold any towels or do any linens that needed to be done. And then I would plan, not necessarily write it out, but maybe in my head, I would kind of know what we'd be having and keeping it really easy for the weekend for suppers. But I wanted to mention something to you that I forgot. On Wednesdays, I'm going back a couple days, but on Wednesdays, when I was raising my kids and I was working away from the home, because my kids were older, so I went into the educational field. Wednesdays would be my day that I would literally come home and I would get like a Clorox wipe or something, and I would just go wipe down the bathroom sinks, the faucets, and that type of stuff to just give it a nice fresh feel for Wednesday. That was like the middle of the week to get me over until Friday. So I thought that was always very helpful, and that's just something I want to just bring up to you. I always do a wipe down or something. But come on Friday, that's when you're going to, if you're home and you're not working outside the home, Friday was the days to dust the surfaces, wipe down, tidy the bedrooms. If you have towels or linens that needed to be washed and folded, you can take care of that, and then plan for easy meals on the weekends and finish the week strong, but leave time to rest. It's always important to keep to rest. You don't have to deep clean every single thing in your house, okay? That's just not. It's not. You're gonna get burnt out. You can't do it all in one day. It takes a while to do that. So give yourself grace on that. But now we're in for the weekend. Everybody's home. It's fun. It's exciting. Maybe you have plans. Maybe your kids are older and they're involved in sports and activities. That is fantastic if that's the case. Those were some great times as my kids grew up, was that they were involved in Little League. We had so much fun. We spent a lot of our nights and days at the park because we had 3 kids and they were all playing at the same time. So we'd be going back and forth to the fields. It was a lot of fun. And enjoy those moments. Don't be stressed over things that don't get done in the house, because you know what? They're still going to be there when you come home. So Saturdays around, and I know a lot of those days are spent doing things with the family. They're usually family days, or maybe those are things where you and your husband, you attack projects, do some household projects around. Maybe it's the family day where you go out and you spend the day at the park. You pack up a picnic basket and go, and just keep it simple. It's okay to skip the chores because it's important to spend time with your family. Just remember that, okay? Sunday for us, for us, we do go to church, so it is a time for rest for us, and we try to reflect and we do the things that we want to do. I really try not to do any chores on Sundays, but I know there are people out there that maybe you sit down, and this is where you sit down because it's quiet on Sunday and there's no distractions. The kids are all in their rooms. Maybe they're taking a nap and your husband's taking a nap. Maybe you just need to pull out your paper and go, okay, this is a good day to do just a meal prep this week. Like, what do we have, what we don't have? And maybe that's the time to do it. Know what you're going to do. So there are my helpful rhythms of homemaking from the ancestors, and how my ancestors, and I'm sure a lot of others used to do it. Housekeeping wasn't like I said, there was a rhythm to it. And I think when you find a rhythm, if you're not in a rhythm already and you're looking to find your rhythm, maybe this is it. Assign yourself things to do when you're home, Monday through Friday. Assign those tasks that you want to get done and stick to it. So if maybe you don't do laundry on Monday, so maybe you do it on Wednesday. So change it to whatever best fits you. That's what I'm saying. So, and remember, if a chore doesn't get done, move it to the next day. Focus on the small wins, like folding a load of laundry and prepping a meal, because those are huge wins, especially when you're home with little ones. If you want to go grocery shopping, maybe you forgot, oh, the store had this on sale and I really wanted to pick up some before it went off sale. Maybe that's one day you go do that. Don't think you have to go to the store every week, okay? Maybe you go every other week. Just keep your meals simple, seasonable, and flexible. Just remember, it's not, we're all learning. We're all in this race together. We're all learning this, and it's not. And so I'm going to figure out how to do this, okay? But I can link something. Hopefully you can print it out. But I do have this paper, and it's a weekly homemaking and grocery planner that I have and got created, where you can see Monday and I have everything labeled out. I can make it blank, I'm sure, but maybe I can put this up somewhere where you guys can print it out for your future. So anyhow, I think that is my first podcast. I think I'm going to be done here, and I appreciate for those who are watching this, and I hope to have guests on here, and I will be doing this to start with, maybe once every other week, so make sure you come back and stay tuned for the next one as we explore the world of homemaking when it doesn't go as planned. So until then, everybody, I hope you have a great day and be blessed, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much. Bye now.